It's Frank Favaro with the People Business, and we're joined today by Geauga Mechanical's service manager, Dan Slattery. Dan is joining us. He's here in studio today, and we're here to talk about the state of service and growing HVAC by doing service the right way. So, Dan, welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Good to be here.
So Dan and I have worked together. I've worked with his company. We've done a lot of trainings through the MCAA. And recently we have done some frontline excellence training, which was training for Dan's service techs to give them really the people skills, the customer interaction abilities, in the awareness to really exceed in today's environment. And we also then did another training session that was built on helping to grow service by bringing more preventative maintenance agreements into the mix. So Dan had the ability to go through both of those training courses, and he's joining me in studio today to kind of talk about service and how it helped his company. So let's talk a little bit about Geauga Mechanical. What was the mindset, let's say, 5 years ago with your service business compared to today?
As far as the mindset 5 years ago, I would say the biggest thing we were just for a number of years. I've been there for almost 25
years, right?
We've just been focusing on growing our business, getting more people involved, taking care of more customers, organically growing, because we have a big construction division as well. So what we like to do is make sure that we continue the relationship with a customer once we're done with the construction project. We come in, we do the warranty, we do the startup, we do all that stuff. And we try to be there for the long haul with these customers. So for a number of years, that's been our mentality is let's grow this business organically by making sure that we take care of these customers for the long term. So 5 years ago versus today, that remains the same. There's a lot of things that are different now because we've experienced growth over these past 10 years that has been substantial. So now we're making sure that we're trained on everything we need to be trained on. There's so much more technology in this industry that we need to be aware of. So we have a huge focus on that. We have a huge focus on just making sure that we're taking care of our customers, that we're responding to their needs, being proactive with them. So that I would say is the two biggest things that we're doing now better than we were ever doing before. Being aware of what's out there as far as technology, and just making sure that we're taking care of our customers.
Taking care of customers is something I think that if we talk to 100 leaders across the country that are in your same seat, right, that are running a service company, managing the people, the problems, the fires, kind of having your hand in all parts of the business, taking care of customers is something everyone speaks. But what does it really mean to you guys?
I think to us, the biggest thing is that we just have people that, I guess you would say that they're loyal to us.
Okay.
They're people that it's not just a business interaction. We can be on friendly terms with these people, have conversations about things outside of work. So it's more of a friendship as much as it is a business relationship.
So you're not just going in there with a transactional mindset of this is the job we have to do the job, get out. You're trying to go in there and not just do the job, but do it at a high level, but also create a relationship while you're at it. It sounds like.
Yeah, absolutely. And part of that is consistency. We have to have the same people going to the same places. With all the service techs and all the people that we have, there's a lot of moving parts. We can't send one guy, then another guy to a building or to wherever, because the guy that's there is looking at us saying, okay, a new guy again. I got to show him the way to get here. I got to kind of follow him around. When we have that consistency, it makes it so much easier. Our techs get along with our customers. They know how to get in and out of buildings. There's a trust level there. And they also know, on top of everything, these guys are looking out for your best interests. Our people are looking out for you. And so we're going to tell you straight. We're going to say, okay, this is what you need to worry about. Nothing you need to worry about today, but in 6 months, within the next 6 months, maybe we should do this. Within the next 2 years, we should talk about doing this. So that is something that we try to be, consistency is the key with that.
And by doing those things, and I call those moments of truth, right? Where you have the opportunity at every one of those interactions to either deepen that relationship, right? Or hurt that relationship,
Absolutely.
right? And you have those moments of truth. And each time that you nail one of those, right? And it's a great experience for the client, you're basically putting a deposit in your bank of, the relationship, right? Because eventually you're probably going to have to take a withdrawal, right? But you have more grace because you built up a nice, amount of good things that were done. And I love that. So consistency has to be there, right? Because if you're not consistent, that's never going to work, right? If it's, you send this guy the one time and this guy the next time, and this guy's never been in the building. And then he says, I've never worked on one of these before. Then all of a sudden the customer's going, oh my God, who'd you send out, right?
Nobody wants that.
No.
Trust me.
No, but it happens every single day still in our industry. Right. And that's the competition, just running around being reactive. And it sounds to me, knowing you guys, that you're very systemized also to be able to do that. Right.
Yeah. We try to respond quickly to our customers. We make sure we take care of them. I mean, it's not rocket science as far as how we interact with our customers, but sometimes it's just difficult. But as long as you're giving the effort and the customer knows you're giving that effort, then everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, I consider it's simple, but not easy.
Right.
And a lot of people think, well, simple, that could never be the answer. But it is. And people think, well, we're not there to build relationships. No, our customers don't really want that. No, they're standoffish. And that's because no one's really ever taken the time to really try to invest in, hey, who you rooting for in the national championship game Monday, right? Having like a conversation you and I just have, like we're humans, right? We're natural, we're organic, to your point.
Right.
And you guys are doing a really great job there. So has that been one of the keys you think for your growth?
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool. So 10 years to today, you said there's been a lot of growth.
Oh yeah.
In the company.
Absolutely.
And with service, you guys want to, because a lot of companies, they're not doing the startups. They're not wanting to be involved in every step. I think that's a mistake.
I do too. It's one of those things that doesn't come easy, but it's not, it's difficult, but it's a simple solution. As long as you have the right people in place, and that is the key. We need to have the right people as far as our technicians, our office, and everyone in between that works for Geauga Mechanical. As long as we have the right people in place, we can take a customer from a concept to construction to a long-term relationship, and everyone benefits from it. So to us, that is an easy way to do this. But we have to have, again, we got to be consistent every day. That customer has to know that when they need us, we're going to be there. We're going to respond quickly. We're going to let them know what's going on. And we're going to give them our kind of like as if we were a part of the family or one of their friends. Like, here's what I want you to know about what I see, because this is what I do and you do what you do.
Right.
But I'm letting you know that this is what I want you to be aware of, because this could be a potential problem. Here's the things that I've done for you. And that's how we continue that relationship with our customers.
I love that. You guys have a very proactive approach with that as opposed to a reactive approach. But how do you, because I work with contractors all over the country, right? In the last 2 years, it's the number's over 300 of people, 300 contracting companies I've had in either a workshop or been on one-on-one with them or whatever it might be. And 97% do not have that mindset. How do you get it? That proactive mindset, knowing that from an idea to a relationship, Yeah,
I think that's just a culture within our company, and it's always been there. Even when I started, we're a third generation family business, and these guys knew a long time ago that that's what you have to do to be successful in the way that we want to do it. So that's just been always a culture within the company, and it's never gone away, and I hope it never does.
Yeah. Well, as long as you guys are focusing on what the main thing is the main thing, right? And if we see so many companies lose sight of the main thing, right. And then they grow and they get so big, and it's like, they're not like they used to be.
Yep, I've heard that a few times.
Yeah.
And I take note of that because I don't want us to be one of those companies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. You guys, first time I came in, well, I've worked with you guys like over the last couple of years now. We've worked together a few times and it's been on a few different projects.
Mm-hmm.
But the last 3 times we got together, it was on the frontline excellence training that we've brought, the ServCentric, my company's brought into the industry. And we wanted to bring, the whole purpose of it is we noticed that when I was working for the contractor in the industry, those interactions with our frontline employees could make us or break us.
Absolutely.
We would see that, oh, wow, this person excelled because they did this, this, and this,
Mm-hmm.
or this person failed because with the client. And now I'm getting the phone call, like you get those calls, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they did this, this, and this. So it almost is like there's a recipe for success with winning those interactions, because I've always said, and it's my philosophy, is all things being equal, customers are going to do business with and refer business to people that they know, they like, and they trust.
Absolutely.
Right. And for us to get those relationships, we have to win more of those interactions. So we created that frontline training, and we really modeled it after world-class hospitality companies like Ritz-Carlton and the Broadmoor and Chewy and Chick-fil-A, and companies that have really figured out how to win the customer experience. So we wanted to bring that into our industry because we really felt like, obviously, skills are really important, right? You got to know how to fix the chiller, right?
Right.
You got to be able to do that.
Right.
But doesn't the customer basically expect that?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a baseline.
That's why they called us.
Right. If they didn't think you could solve that problem, they probably wouldn't call.
Right.
So they call you to fix the chiller. Now, you could go in and you could fix the chiller, but it could be a horrible experience. Right?
Absolutely.
That's why we created the frontline experience training, where from step 1, right, making first impressions, to, being able to educate and being able to engage and to build rapport, and then being able to exceed expectations and understanding expectations. And we went through all of these steps with your team, and I was so impressed. They were very engaged. They wanted to get better. And they really felt as if it was a valuable lesson in terms of, what the feedback, said. What were your biggest takeaways on how it helped your team?
So like I said earlier, we spend so much time trying to make sure that we are up on the technology in this business.
Yes. You guys are very frontline, wanting to lead that charge.
So we spend a lot of time, resources, and money making sure that our people are trained on the technology, everything that's coming out and everything that is out there now. So there's a huge amount of attention paid to that. But what there isn't a lot of attention paid to is the customer interaction from the perspective that you brought it, where a lot of our people had not heard the story of Chewy or the Broadmoor or anything like that, where, and it was eye-opening to a lot of them that there's all these ways that you can really change a customer, their perception of you immediately, good or bad. You walk in the door and you have the right approach and do it the right way, then this is going to be easy. If you do it the wrong way and you're having a bad day and you don't collect yourself to be presentable to the customer and have that positive interaction from the get-go, you're going to have an uphill climb right away. So I think that was the biggest thing for our people, was understanding the value of that interaction, which I don't think nobody really fully understands that until you go into something like that and you do the role playing that we did with you walking into the room, pretending that you're the customer. And every guy has a different approach to it. Every girl has a different approach to it. So we had to, once we did that, I think that was something that was very beneficial for our people, just learning how to make that a positive interaction and how that benefits you and stacks the deck in your favor.
That was it. That was a great exercise for them. I saw, because I would pretend I would walk in the door, close the door, walk in the door, acting like I was meeting them for the first ever time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking to see if they had eye contact,
Yep.
right? If they had a positive energy and a smile,
Yep.
right? If they how their handshake was,
Yep.
right?
And we worked on that.
And
a
we
bit.
worked on that, like working on a handshake,
Yeah.
but probably something no one has ever done ever before. Like
Yeah.
no one ever worked on, with me on that. So how do you know? Like,
Right.
how do you know how good your handshake is? Is it a little too hard? Sometimes somebody feels like they want to break my hand,
Yeah.
right? Like it's a strength contest. That's not a good thing either.
Right.
Or a dead fish, as we know, right? So
Right.
we did all of that really interesting exercise, and we had a lot of fun with it too.
Yeah, we did.
And it was interesting for me to see them because being in my shoes, and that's the thing I think some of us don't understand. We all have different experiences, right? And what I think I know, you almost think everyone knows.
Right. You
Right?
take it for granted
You
that you
do.
think everybody knows how to do what I know how to do. I don't know how to do what you know how to do, though. And
Yeah.
I don't know that until
Yeah.
I'm in that position.
And I don't know what you know how to do also. Like, and that's the whole, we grow with experience.
Right.
Right. And we can gain experience multiple ways. It could be in training, right? It could be in real life situations where we shot ourselves in the foot and we're like, I don't want to make that mistake again. Or
Right.
it could have been, doing it the right way.
Yeah.
But life is all about experiential learning, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. And you get plenty of that as you deal with customers every day and
Every day.
go into new situations. And the way you approach that is very valuable.
Customers, they can be difficult. They can be completely unreasonable, unrealistic, right? They can be challenging, but we can win them over if we stick to the playbook.
Right.
We do the right things.
Right.
What other benefits came from that training?
All right. So then as far as the preventative maintenance and growing the service business, that was one of the biggest ones that I think we took away from that was just a way of being responsive to the customer, being consistent in our follow-ups with them and checking in with them, making sure that we are taking care of what they are asking for, even if it's just a pricing exercise. But we have to go through these processes to gain that trust with the customer. We have to display that we are interested in doing business with this person, and we have to continue and be consistent. Again, I keep using the word consistent, but consistent in our responses and in our approaches to them.
You're consistent by saying consistent.
I
And that's
guess
how
so.
you stay consistent.
I guess so.
I like it because it's true. Like, we have to be consistent with everything we do. Dan, you guys are growing. You're doing it the right way. You're taking care of your customers. They're starting to tell their friends, I imagine. Referrals are coming in the door and people want to come work with you. The cultures, it's expanding. Your social media presence, I see it every day. You guys are doing great things. And if anyone out there is thinking about they need a commercial contractor for HVAC, what other services do you guys do?
We do building automation.
Building
too,
automation.
so, yeah.
Check out these guys, Geauga Mechanical. They are working hard to do it the right way. Dan, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure.
Likewise. Thank you.